raise this thing volume. Yeah. Yeah. So, as we are all aware that around us there are so many people who are getting this eye infections, or sometimes children get ear infections, and even so several kinds of flus that we see around us, children or the adults getting fever, cold, and other kind of a situation. So, and that happens generally in the changing weather, you know. So if you see, this weather, this the climate has a very important role to play on our body. You know, when our body has a certain temperature inside, internal temperature, and there is a temperature which is outside. Now, our body always keep on adjusting with the temperature outside. It is um, it is always coming to the balance. If it will not, then the human survival will be a big question mark. Now if you see, if in the summers, when the temperatures are already very high, and if our body is also adapting, our body is adapting to that higher temperatures, right? If our body is not adapting to the higher temperatures और हमारी बॉडी भी गर्म होने लग जाए, तो आप सोचिए कि क्या हो सकता है हमारे साथ, या कोल्ड कंडीशन में बाहर भी कोल्ड है और हमारी बॉडी भी ठंडी होने लग जाए, तो उस सिचुएशन में क्या हो सकता है। तो इस चीज़ों को हमें समझना होगा, और ये अंडरस्टैंड करना होगा कि क्लाइमेट का कैसे हमारे ऊपर काफ़ी इम्पैक्ट और इन्फ्लुएंस्ड होता है, और अकॉर्डिंगली हमको चीज़ें करनी चाहिए। इसीलिए हम ये बोलते हैं इन नेचर क्योर दैट whatever is available to you in the season, eat that, because nature has its intelligence to produce those kinds of food items which are suitable for the body. It will never produce anything which is very heated up thing in the summers. It will always give things which are uh, you know for the season. It is important, in that season it is important. So so that is why the climate is important, that our body is able to adjust to that environment, right? And body always keeps on adjusting to the environment, and uh, adapting to it. But now what is happening, we have come across that any changes or any change in season happening, and we are falling ill. Some or the other conditions are developing in us, either cold or cough, or some kind of a flu and all of that. Now we have to understand that what is body doing at that time. So if we have uh, um, if our food is, or if our lifestyle is not something conducive for our body, then obviously the toxins which are there in our body remains in it, right? It is not able to uh, get eliminated properly. So the toxins which are there in the body in the accumulated form create this condition of dis-ease. That means the body is not at ease. So when the body is not at ease, it will try to throw out those stuff from the body which is creating that uneasiness. And that process of throwing out the toxins is the symptoms which you consider as a problem, or which anyone consider that as a problem. For example, cold, cough, or fever, right? So these particular symptoms are the body's communication, that it is working, it is doing something, right? And if there are some pains which are felt in the body, so which means body is alive, you know. So somebody has said very nicely that dead bodies don't feel pain. It's only in the body which is full of life has a pain, and pain implies that there is some work which is happening in that part of your body. Now we consider that thing to be a problem, and we start to suppress it through medicines or through some herbs or something like that. Now, temporarily, you will find a relief because those medicines or those herbs are meant to suppress those symptoms. So, temporarily, you may feel okay for a little while, but that particular situation will continue for a longer period of time, right? And then, as a human person, as a human being, there are certain attributes to us attached, like there is we are not able to have that much of patience for a longer period of time if some discomfort is going on in our body. We are always very uh, very good with pleasures, but when it comes to pains we always want to avoid that. There is an aversion to pain, there is an aversion to discomforts, problems, but we welcome all the good things in our life, and we want to be in the good things always in the life. But life is not all about that. There is always a phase, there is always a cycle which always goes on and on and on and on. And it brings, one thing at a time. So every time, the older people or some very people with more wisdom, they always say, "Na, this phase also shall pass." So nothing stays on. So even in life or in your body, everything will takes its due course, it will become better and better and better. And better doesn't means always in comfort. Better always also means that if there is some discomfort in the body, if there is some accumulation of toxins in the body will throw it out. That is the best thing. If the body is able to do that, that means that um, your body is working perfectly well, right? And that is what we want, that all the organs should be in that active mode, that it can work properly. Okay. So this is one thing I wanted to pinpoint, that whenever we perceive an infection or whenever we perceive a flu, we perceive it as a problem. We perceive it as a situation where we want to get rid of that, right? And we do everything possible to get rid of that particular situation, because because of few things we want to get rid of that. Our work is getting affected, we as human beings are not able to eat what we want to eat. Our our inner that cravings for certain things in life really makes us not have that patience to wait, for the body to complete its work. So in many Vedic scriptures it is said that there is a kind of situation a person has, in with respect to mind. There is a there is a there are situations, sattvic, rajasic and tamasic, right? So in food also it is there, but in terms of mind also it is there. So the person who are not able to have that self control in themselves, those people find it difficult to make a change for themselves. And that is where we want, some spiritual understanding, why certain things are happening this way. Why are we getting entangled to these kinds of um, bondages onto us, like that we are feeling that, if you're not getting food for some time, we're missing out on something. Are we really? So even somebody has said very very nicely कि दाने दाने पे खाने वाले का नाम लिखा है. So what does it mean? कि if you are meant to eat a certain quantity of food in your life, you will finish that eating in this lifetime itself. No need to feel that, if you're not well for few days, or if you're not able to eat for few days, you are going to miss out on your food, or you are going to feel that you are deprived of that food thing. Do not think in that direction, because when it comes to eating, you will eat. But when the body has to work on it, let body works during that time. But usually what we do, when we are ill or when we have these infections and flus, our mind starts to crave for something better, something tastier, in terms of that, because taste is gone in this condition. You don't feel any taste in anything. Now, because you're not feeling any taste in anything, you will try to make even things more tastier for you to eat it somehow, you know, because that is the attachment we have with our food. So, this attachment towards anything creates suffering. And if this attachment is during the time when you are unwell or sick, or certain situations are going on inside the body, if that attachment is that much in your body for the food, it will not heal uh, soon. It will take its own time. So, 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 I understand that now situations have changed. Now the life has become so fast, so hectic, that we don't get time for ourselves to think about who we are, what do we like, what are the things that troubles us, how can we make our life much easier for us, how can we make it more in a way that we say that we are living our life, right, rather than we are just aging. So it's just that we say, oh, years are passing by. We never say that we are living our life fully in this moment. So these things are bigger questions. And anything which comes to us uh, comes for a reason. There is nothing which is coming without a reason. There is a cause behind it. When there is a cause, there will be an effect. So, whatever situations that we are facing now with respect to any flus or infections or anything, it's because of a reason. It's because of the lifestyle that we are undergoing or we are living. Um, if you see, people are in a habit of eating late, you know, 10 o'clock, 10:30, they will eat. They will sleep by 12, 12:30. So if you will see that we have adjusted our life in such a manner suiting our work needs, we have adjusted in that format. That if nighttime suits us, let's wake up in the night and get up late in the morning to complete our sleeping requirements, and then do the other work. So we are adjusting with our work. We are adjusting towards work needs, but you have to really see that, is body is aligned to that kind of a change? Is body is happy in that change? Is body meant to be in that kind of a situation? So if you will see around in the nature, all the living organisms except a few which are nocturnal, which are only during the night time, nature has made them that way. Otherwise, all the living beings, all the creatures, you know sleep the moment sun sets. And if you go back to our earlier times, our times when our forefathers used to be living, and when there was no electricity at that time, they used to sleep off early, and um, they used to complete their work during the daytime, and then used to eat, and eat beforehand, and then they used to go off to sleep gradually. But nowadays, our day start after 6 o'clock. And this is an irony. If you see, that's an ironical situation that our day starts in the night, because our nights are made like a day with so much of LED lights all around. If you see, in LED lights, in white lights, in your houses, really activates your brain. And then where is the sleep coming? And then people are complaining about their sleep problems, that they are not able to sleep. If we are going to keep the environment always in an excited mode, always in a very active mode, how can the brain shuts down and sleeps off? Till the time your brain, mind shuts off, you will not be able to relax in your body. So that is why it is needed. We are giving a lot of examples. It's so much said about that, that we have to do this for better sleep, do that for better sleep. All of that is said. But if you go in the deeper, at the deeper level, you will find that it is mainly our lifestyle, our way of thinking, our the way we approach towards life, the way we see the work and the rest, and our health nowadays is creating all problems. So, so any problem which is coming has a cause. Now, if I say infections coming, not every person gets infections in the changing season or flus, only a few, right? A few, or maybe a lot many, but not all, right? Why is that so? If there is a situation in the climate, if it is not suitable for one person, it should not be suitable for any person, right? There are plants in the nature which are very bitter, and everybody will say that it is a bitter plant. No one will say it is sweet. So it is common understanding that nature gives, that if something is not good for someone, it is not good for everyone. So, but in the flu and infections, why is that so? Only few people get it. That means there are certain conditions which body has developed in that body, yeah, inside that system, which is not prevailing in the other people's body, and that is why they face it. Now, what could be that? So anything which remains as a toxins inside your body, or if there is not the proper distribution of temperature inside the body, you will feel sick. So the distribution of temperature in the body has to be equal. It can't be that your feet is cold, your head is warm, or you're very hot. It is a abnormal condition. It is a condition which says that you are not well. When your entire body temperature is distributed properly, then you say that you are keeping well. And also that your elimination is proper in the morning. Your stomach feels lighter after that you evacuate. And you feel completely fine. There is no gastric formation during the daytime. And your day is peaceful day. When you are peaceful, when you calm, when you're composed in yourself, then of course your health will be better. You can withstand any of these cold and infections quite nicely. But when we are anxious, when we are irritated, when we are angry, when we are not clear in our life, confused, then it is so difficult to for the body to heal in itself, because we are creating a resistance, some resistance to the body to work properly, to work efficiently, to work peacefully. So it is needed that whenever we are having such situations or conditions, we must take proper rest. We must allow the body to do its work and not disturb its flow by eating in between or by drinking some kind of a teas in between just to feel better for a shorter duration. So let we not disturb the body. Let we fast during that time so that body can, whatever vitality it has, it can use it to heal the body, to get to its normalcy, back to normal sense. So be on fasting at that time. Do not eat because our taste buds are not working at that time. No digestive juices are released at that time. So whatever you are going to eat at that time will go waste. It's only that your body has to work extra miles to digest that food also. Body is already feeling weak. Now you're giving some food, and that to paratha or some kind of a khichdi with ghee. Those kind of things, we tend to give. Okay, you're not feeling well. Your taste is not coming. Okay, take these things, and you will be able to enjoy that food. Now, body is telling you, I don't want anything. That's why the bitterness has come in the mouth. Now, instead of understanding that point, what are we doing? We are creating a taste, a kind of a taste which is not so natural, and with lot of condiments, artificial taste we are creating, and then we are allowing and we are telling, okay, you eat that. Children eat it or older people eat it. We are doing so much damage to the body at that time, and especially to children and the old people. Their bodies cannot withstand because their body has a low vitality at that point. The children are growing, so they have a little low vitality at that time, in the sense that their bodies are still building it up, growing body, right? So the whole process is involved in the growth processes. And in the older age, the vitality is becoming lower and lower and lower with time. And now by eating all these cooked food with lot of condiments, with lot of tasting things incorporated, with lot of spices into that, making it complicated with lot of things mixing together, by eating lot of these milk items, which is so much at all on our body for to digest. Now, with all that stuff, and especially during the time of when you are having these infections or flus, creates a bigger problem. Your body is your friend, so it will definitely be always wanting to survive you, to make you better in some time. So even if you give medicines or you don't give medicines, body has to cure in itself. It will go off from your body in some time. But where is the patience now? Where is it gone? Why is it that we are always saying we don't have time? And we don't have time for our own body, for our own self, which is all the time with you, which is doing all the work for you, and you're saying, I don't have time for all of that. I don't have time to make salad. I don't have time to, go specially and look for these natural things. But we have time to go out in the market to buy our clothes, or to go and watch a movie, or go out in a restaurants and eat. We have time for all of that, to meet friends. But the friend who is with you, you're the most important friend. You, yourself, you're not taking care of your own self. You're not taking care of the needs it has. What does it need? So human beings in general have a similar needs to eat natural food, the food given by nature. Every human being will say it is easier to eat fruits. No human being will say that I can eat a raw meat, right? Unless until you are a cannibal, like you are in that phase of time where there's nothing available, no, only a few things available in the nature that you can grab it. Only thing, the survival mode is that only, right? So those tribal peoples and all of that, so that is a something different line. Okay, but in general, if you would say what nature has made for us to eat, that we need to see. if we are aligned to that kind of a eating process and aligning ourselves to the nature, when it is rest time, take rest. When the sun is out, even before sun is out, you should get up in the morning and then do all your daily work routines, do all your exercise and your all household work, your office work, and by evening just slow down. Just slow down in everything. For eating, slow down. For work wise, you slow down, and then gradually go off to sleep early so that you can get up early morning. And that's how, when we are aligned to this kind of a lifestyle, our body is able to complete its work on day to day basis. Then we don't have any situations with respect to seasonal problems. Like when, if you see from winters, when there is winters are going off and when we are entering the spring season, lot of people fall ill. We say it's a lot of flu going on and people are falling ill. Why? Because during winter times, people are not engaged in much of physical activity because it's winters, it's harsh winters many places, right? So you don't feel like the body is not in that state to work more because, you know, uh, and and you know, but our eating is the same. We are eating even more heavier foods. We say we feel like eating more food in winters. It's like more of eating. But if we are eating more food, then what we have to do, we have to work also more physically so that body can digest it. Now outside temperature is cold, right? And body has to create an internal warmth inside your body. That's how we can survive. That's how we survive. Now it is constantly creating that heat inside the body, right? And when we are eating food, when it disintegrates, it's again further creates heat in the body. So that's how we feel warmth when we eat food in the winters, and that's how we like it. Eating food is a pleasure in winters, not in summers that much, because in summers also, if we are eating, it creates more heat, and that is not a pleasurable thing. But we have to really understand this point that whatever we are eating, if we are eating something very complex, body has to really use its vitality to disintegrate that food, to create that heat in the body, that then we feel good about it. So the elimination should be completed properly. The body is able to use whatever you are eating, and whatever it is not used, it is throwing it out of the body system. Then it is a healthy system. And it requires, all the aspects to be in line with physical, mental, spiritual, social well-being to be in sync with it. So if we are able to do that sync, then we are able to experience good health. And whenever, so I have told you all the conditions on which these things comes and why it is coming, why infections are coming, and all of that. Now little bit on what we do. So I already said, if the taste buds are not working, do not make it, to eat somehow. Go on fasting. And when your taste buds, becomes again alive, again back to normal, then start eating with natural fruits, like fruits or some salads, little bit of juice with diluted water, right? So that system is able to take it slowly and gradually. And at the time, be in the nature, take sun, do a lot of these deep breathing exercises, pranayama, do a little bit exercise. What we do, we do not do any exercise at that time. So little bit of movement is needed so that body, inside body, things can move. अगर कोई भी चीज़ को रोके रखेंगे तो प्रॉब्लम बढ़ती जाएगी, राइट? कहीं पे भी अगर कोई नाली है, कोई ड्रेन है, उसमें क्लॉगिंग हो रही है, तो हम क्या चाहते हैं कि हम उसको उस क्लॉगिंग को खोल दें जिससे कि फ्लो नॉर्मल हो जाए. तो वो फ्लो ही नॉर्मल रखना है, सो दैट द मूवमेंट इज is proper, the flow is proper. So try maintaining that particular thing at that time, and do something which you like to do, sing, paint, involve yourself with nature. All of that will help at that time. And whenever this kind of a situation happens, and when you understand it, this is happening because I did something, because something that I did in last few months is now my body is responding to it, you will be okay with that. But when we say, why only me who is getting it? Why I'm now going to miss my office. I'm now going to miss my other kind of a family engagements. I'm going to miss my food. Then it is like you are telling that you're creating a pressure on yourself. And then that's how we say we don't like to be sick. But having this fever or cold and cough or any kinds of pains during these kinds of acute diseases process is a matter to celebrate. It's a matter to celebrate that, oh, my body is working, my body is throwing out all the toxins inside of me. It will cleanse in itself. It will, in nowadays term, we say detox in itself. And that's how you're going to feel healthier later on. The body will restore its health. After that, it um, takes out everything what is not needed. So think about it, reflect. uh, what are we doing, why are we doing, and is it helping, or is it something that people have told you that this is good for you, this is not good for you. Experience yourself, um, and then adopt it if it is good for you. And anything which is good to you in a short term, on a temporary basis, is not good. Something which brings a long term view, a, a permanent change with respect to health is a better thing to adopt. So we must always keep questioning, we must always keep reflecting, and doing a pause in between is a must. So I hope that the session, you have found some value to it. And if any questions, I'm very happy to answer. If any questions you have, or anything you want to share.
Thank you, Tulika, for wonderful talk. And would you like to suggest any structure for how to take a pause? Because mostly, we get busy with work and everything that you discussed. And, even though you take a break, it is like a break in between work. So it tend to be minimum. So what is the best way to do that?
Yeah. So, Shabana, yeah, this is something, this is individual specific. Now, there can be a structure with respect to, if we say that certain things needs to be worked on a daily basis, certain things needs to be worked on weekly basis, and certain things has to be taken on a larger framework. For instance, everyone gets a week off, like weekdays, weekends we have Saturdays, Sundays, comparatively lesser work. So certain things, certain pauses can happen during that time, and during everyday basis we can have a certain pause in between. Now we have to tell ourselves that our body, has to do everything. The work is also very important, but other than that, the other things are also important. So whenever the vacations are happening, so we have to plan ourselves in such a way that we take out time for ourselves for a longer period of times also. Like during vacations we take a 10 days break or 15 days break, go in the nature, be in the nature for some times and just relax. Now, one yesterday only, like I go and learn singing once in a week, for myself. So, these days my throat is not that proper. Like since the time I've got my throat infection, so I took a rest for a while for my singing and all of that. But Yesterday I told my teacher, let's sing whatever I've learned so far. I just want to sing now, whatever my condition of throat is, let me sing. He said, yeah, yeah, okay. So I started to sing, and in one or two songs, I realized that my throat is not going, like it's just not able to take that note, So my teacher gave one example which I really liked it. He said, Tulika, do you know, uh, even if the he's a singer by the way, and a performer, and he's into since field since very very long number of years, like, so that's why I am giving this background, that what is his experience in saying all of that. He told me that even if the biggest of masters in this area, you know for 2 months they will say, we will not sing, we will take a complete break from singing or from any kind of a work. Like, he's a singer, so he was telling about the singers. So he say the greatest masters also take a break. For 2 months they will say, now it's enough, we will not work. you know so so in if you say see animals, animals has a very instincts, they are very strong in their instincts. When they eat heavy foods, they know they for 3 days they will not eat anything, they will just rest. So they will take pause, they will not go just like that to hunt. They know it very clearly that they don't need it that much. How much you need. Now the question comes, you have to really figure it out, how much we need in this lifetime. you know and when we can really make that uh, things for ourselves, that this much will give me satisfaction and happiness, let me be feel satisfied with this much, then we become okay with not working for some time. So one thing is that we really understand, for 12 months, totally, if we say that this much time period we can comfortably take it out from our work, and we can just go off on vacations, be with the family or be with, and also alone time, self time, it's very much needed, so that you can reflect on yourself, you can be, and in the best reflection happens with the nature, because nature is the thing which is connected to the cosmic world. Nature is something which has a huge etheric uh, body, etheric, which is more vitality, in a simpler terms, if I say, or more life force. So if you say that, if you might have felt sometimes that whenever you are not feeling well and you go in a park and just sit under a tree, you feel little relaxed, you know you feel fresh. The farmers who work all through the day, and then they just lie down under the tree in the cool breeze, they feel much better after waking up. So there is a rest which happened, there is an influence of the environment also. So being with the plant on everyday basis is a very helpful activity. So on day-to-day basis, go out in the park, go on a stroll, go for a walk in between. This is on a day-to-day basis. Involve yourself in certain hobby things. Now we consider, नहीं hobby तो हमारे बचपन की थी, अब हमने बचपन गया, hobby गई. No, there is an inner child in all of us, which feels really better, good, when we do all sorts of things which we used to do it when we were child. So just indulge in free dancing, free singing, free painting. No need to go for anything like that, learning it. If you feel the urge to improve your skills, why not? But otherwise, no need. So, little bit 5 minutes off, 10 minutes off, and doing something which you like, which gives you pleasure, is a pause. Or lying down and just sleeping off and taking a yog nidra also is a pause. Just cutting off from the day to day stressful work is a pause. And then plan yourself for weekend. Do something for a longer duration, right? And then for your monthly basis, or for your what do you say, on a yearly basis, plan a good vacation for yourself, and maybe not working anything, just take a pause. Now I'm taking a pause from research or from any work, and then just explore something for yourself and just be in that. And nature is something which gives you that freshness, which gives you that needed energy back in your life. So that is what um, I can think of. And
Yeah.
what do you have to
Thank,
say?
yeah. Thank you, Tulika. I'll plan it like
Yeah.
means I do take time for myself also. So, but yes.
Yeah, for everybody. I think this question
Yes.
was meant for a larger
Yes.
people. It's like, yeah, as you as a person, you also do this. So I really understand. Yeah, it's for the larger community that we are addressing to. Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else has any questions? Neelam ji, Meena ji, Uma ji.
So so everyone has a hobby. Shabana, what's your hobby?
So my hobby these days, I am just doing this thing, playing some games in the newspaper. So in everyday Delhi Times, there are some games like one is Sudoku, another is like the words, Spalathon, and all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that. So I take that half an hour or time away and do that.
Hmm.
Make sure I do that every. So I like that. So I'm enjoying these days. So
Nice.
it tends to change. So every now and then I do. So after some time I get bored. So I change.
Yeah, so one thing I want to add here, because you're
Yeah.
saying this, so there is some concept called as three-foldedness, right?
Hmm.
In this three-foldedness, there is a will work, there is
Hmm.
a will, there is a feeling, and there is a thought.
Hmm.
There is this thinking, consciousness, right? So these three things, are part and parcel of any human beings. We do certain things out of will. I can do it, and this is what I have to do, complete it. The child is doing something, making a fortress, or making any kind of a games for themselves, or with will that we complete it. So this is part of us. Second is a feeling thing. So feeling is something that ignite that feeling aspect of us, which is through these artworks that we say that this is basically soul forces, that through soul forces, um, this feeling is like taken care of. It's a feeling body, because feeling body also needs something, right? Now there is a thinking body, consciousness level, which is always related to the I, and thinking, reasoning, um, so all of that. So we have to satisfy these all three bodies. So we have to see on which body we are focusing more, and on which kind of a body that we have to really give some of our time. So if we can see that, then it will create more healthful experiences, and you'll feel okay. It's a complete experience in itself. So that's why the every kind of activity we must incorporate in our day-to-day lives. It should be it should be a mix of everything. Something that we do with our hands, like some household work, or some kind of other thing, or exercise, or something. We do that also. Some kind of a artwork we incorporate, and some kind of a thinking work. So these all three things, when we do it together, it makes a complete whole. So that is what one thing I wanted to just add to what you shared. That
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, and I totally agree with that because I also find that quiet time, like sometime in the form of meditation or something, is also equally important. Apart from these, whatever we do for like as a habit, like creative uh, things or something.
Yes, yes, so true. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And also in terms of like the flu, like if some those people who are already, because I know a few people, I talk to them, they are having body pain and something like that.
Right.
So means those people who have already got the infection, so or some sort, means it's not a flu, but then they're having a lot of body pain. So is there something that you would like to suggest
Huh,
that
so
they can do?
yeah. So as I already said, at the times taste buds are not there, right? So one
Yeah.
should not eat it.
Mm.
So
Oh,
fasting is the first thing one should do. A little bit till the time they feel hungry, they should not eat it. And if there is a fever, then obviously one should never eat during the fever. During fever, if we are eating, that means we are feeding the fever. So we should not eat it. But if the fever is not there, and if you feel hungry, take coconut water or take juice in a diluted form. Like do not have juice in its purest form, like orange juice if you're having it, or any kind of a juice. Do not have it just like that, you know, or like that. You have to dilute. If half juice is there, half amount of water, that makes the juice uh, which can be digested by your body. And another thing which I said is to be in the sun. Take sunlight at that time. Lot of sunlight if you can take. And after taking sunlight, you have to take a shower from head to toe so that body cools down, right? And then you have to do pranayam, deep breathing exercises. And if there is a pain in any part of the body, that means there is a concentrated heat in that part. So either you can use a wet pack on that area, or you can use a cucumber pack. Grated cucumber can be put on that if there is lot of pain going on, right? So that lot of pain is there in that part. You can put a herbal pack, or you can put just simply a wet pack. And if there is some part of the place where it is like excruciating pain, it is so discomforting, then you can just be inside the water and just make water flow in that particular region only, right? Hot and cold, end with cold, start with hot. So if these certain things that we do, and let the body take out everything, allow the body to take out everything. If cold is happening, let it happen. Take sips of water in between. Keep on taking sips of water. Do not drink water like in one go. Just take a sip of water, keep it in a mouth a bit, and then gulp it. So it becomes a medicine. Taking water in this manner is a medicine. And then it really soothes your system. The system is able to come down to its normalcy in just in few hours or in a day or two, kind of thing. And obviously rest. And what is rest? Rest is physical rest, physiological rest through not eating anything, not giving anything food which is heavier in nature, and mental rest. That means during that time you're not doing any stressful work, but do some work. It's not that rest means that you are completely not working. You are just working a little bit, which where you are finding it okay to work. Just work a little bit and rest in between. So by doing all of these things, that one can get back to its normalcy. And do not take any pills, do not take any medicines, because medicines will add to the toxins inside of you. So better body eliminates it. Don't give those inputs into your body which is helpful in body to eliminate or to cleanse, rather than adding to the toxins which are already there in the body and body is trying hard to eliminate it. So so if you all do all of that pranayama, as I've already mentioned, so all of that will help in coming out of this problem in just 2 days or 3 days, depending on what level of infection body has, right? So I had a very bad throat infection. I got a high fever, high body ache, lot of that. I never took any medicines. I did this only what I've just shared. And in just 2 3 days time, fever gone, pains gone, body back to its normal. All of that happens naturally. So throat infection is people get so much of problems, ear infection, and then eye infections. Nowadays, eye infection. So I will just mention it so that everyone gets benefit out of that. So if eye infection is coming, that means you have to really take care of the cleanliness part of it, right? Keep washing your uh, eyes with clean water, fresh water, cool water, and apply cucumber pack on it for 25 minutes. The whole region. You can keep a cucumber pack, grated cucumber pack, and lie down for 20-25 minutes. And then throw that cucumber and wash your eyes again, right? And eat clean those days. So because the clean eating never happened, that's why you got that infection. So clean eating means eating natural, seasonal, not very oily stuff, not very heavier stuff. So that will make the healing faster, right?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Most welcome. Yeah. Anyone else? So today no questions from anyone. That
Yeah,
means they really got
Uma ji is asked.
Uma ji,
Uh,
sir.
no,
Yeah.
no, I was just adding to your the eye woes that we are going through in New Delhi
Uh,
in NCR. I was told by a eye doctor, please change your hand towel that you wipe your face with every day. Very important because and also keep washing your hands all the time. Do not touch your eyes.
yeah. So my take on this is that when I said we have to really take care of the cleanliness part, right? And cleanliness is one hygiene that we say. So hygiene is very important. You have to keep your surroundings clean, keep your body clean, but it should not become to a level of obsessiveness. I can't go on keep on like obviously my hands will go on my eyes, like I can't do that way, right? But I am sure about myself that whatever I'm eating, there is nothing inside in my body in which any infection, if even if some virus will come or something will come, it will not stay in my body for long because it will not find its food here. Any microbes will stay in your body only when it finds a place conducive to stay. If the place, they stay in what kind of a places, they stay in a place of places where it is dirtiness, like it's not clean, it's unhygienic.
So
So
if
when,
you keep washing your hands naturally, then you'll keep you won't touch your eyes. You keep washing your hands. You're not carrying the infection from one person to the other. And
yeah,
wash your eyes, wash your face.
that you can do, that's not a problem. But that is a topical solution, that is a superficial solution to the problem. We are not getting to the cause of it. We are not addressing what is the cause. We have to understand.
Cause was the flood water that came just now, and it has caused
But why
havoc.
it is not causing to everybody? Why it is only causing to only few people?
It's highly contagious. I think when it's in one person in the family, it goes to the other very quickly.
So in my house, this my maid, she had this problem. She came for 2 days, 2 3 days, and I because she needs work, and if she will not work, all of that is problem. So she was hiding that to me, and I was saying, "What happened to your eyes? What are you?" She said, "Ye problem ho gaya," and all of that. I said, "Okay, fine." I just said when whatever, because she was already infected, so I was taking due care in that sense that she washed her hands while doing anything in the house. Otherwise, I am sure that I will not get infected because of I am looking at in her eyes. That will not affect me. Why?
Yeah, the same thing happened in my house too. My the fellow who works for me, he also got infected, and his wife also. But I was taking
Yes.
so much care that I was saved.
Okay. So I was taking care in terms of what I eat, how I live my life on a day-to-day basis, how much time I spend in outside, outdoors, in nature, in sun, and whether I'm doing my exercise or not. So those things I take care of it. Like, uh, so there is a lot to say, but it's individual specific also. If you feel that doing this kind of a, it's no problem with that. Hygiene is always a better thing to do. It's always recommended. So you can continue doing that, but at the same time, get to this natural eating, get to this kind of exercise and all of that, then there will not be any fear of getting it. There is an important aspect that we don't get fear of all these things. No microbes, no viruses will enter a clean body. It may come, it will say, oh, I'm not getting a food here, it will go off in just a day. You will say, okay, something I felt, some itchiness I felt, but then it's not there now, right? So it is something that we have to see. It's a longer term. Every passing season there is something new is now nowadays coming, and people are getting infected about it. And then there is a lot of anxiety in people, that they might not get it. So these anxieties and fears can really go off from your system, from you, if you start to adopt a natural lifestyle. And I'm telling you from my experience and from the people whom I know who are into this natural lifestyle, and there is no problems at all. So that you can incorporate, and whatever you're doing, keep on doing that, no problems in that. But just get little deeper into this thing now. Now you already know this, the importance of a healthy lifestyle, but now get deeper into that, right? Anything else? Have I answered you? Or you're still wondering that if that is the thing?
I think you both were saying the same thing, but yeah, we have to do more and more
Yeah.
consciously, I
Yes.
guess.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyone else want to ask any question or suggest anything?
What if you are infected? Then what do you do at that time? Because, according to the naturopath.
Eye infections you are mentioning?
Yes, yes. At the moment, I think that's a prevalent.
So I just now said, I'll repeat again, that if you have got an eye infection, then keep washing your eyes with clean and cool water, so that the cleansing is happening properly. And apply cucumber pack. This is a herbal pack which has the capacity to pull out toxins inside of you, the that area, and apply it for about 20 to 25 minutes max. And after that, remove it and clean your eyes again, and throw that cucumber, which should not be used for any other purpose, after using it on your eyes. So repeat this thing for 2 3 times during the day, and if the severity is high, even repeat more times. And you can even uh, just, if there is a pain has come in the body, this will really help. And infection will go off, and you can just simply put a wet pack while sleeping on the night, so that this area is totally relaxed, right? So that is one thing. And during those days when you're having this infection, do not eat anything fried, anything processed. Just eat something which is more of fruits and vegetable raw salads, soups. So come to the vegetable diet. Do not take these anything higher proteins, because higher proteins intake at the time uh, will delay its healing. So so eat this way only, which I just now mentioned. And also relax your eyes in between from your work, and take rest, ample amount of rest. Just keep track of the cleanliness, the whole body cleanliness, and that will be taken care of. So I suggested the same thing to my help, and she felt better in a day only. So, so that is possible. Try it and share it. If you have tried and this worked for you, share it in the group for others so that they also get benefited, with your sharing that you did that, or anyone around you if are having these problems, you can suggest them this. But at the time, no eye drops and everything to be put at that time, if that is not recommended in nature cure.
Thank you, Tulika.
Yeah.
Awesome. These days, because we Delhi had a lot of flooding, so several waterborne infections are also there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, what do you suggest for them? Because for them the water they are getting sometimes that is also infected.
Yes, so I always say that environment has a very big role to play. If there is a clean environment outside, our body also is healthier. And in an unhealthy environment, our body also might be infected and becomes unhealthy. So it is a very reciprocal kind of a relationship. So in general, we have to really see why these flood situations, and all of that has come. That's a separate discussion altogether. But yeah, those people are already infected. They have to move, to a place where they can feel safe, where they can really carry out the things in a manner, because now these areas becomes a breeding ground for these microbes and all these viruses, and in that environment, if there is no other way out for anyone to move out, then it's better that we start having a clean eating. Clean eating means that we are eating more of natural foods. We are having foods which are fruits, raw salads, one time raw salad, one time fruits, and one time very conservatively cooked food, which is having less of oil, which is having less of spices, and one kind of a grain that we are having it, or sometimes no grains at all, right? So that it can digest easily, digest fast. When whatever food that we are eating digest fast, then there is a less scope of you getting infected, because body is clean, body has finished its work, there is nothing accumulated inside, there is nothing that is remaining inside your system, so no infection can catch you, so that precautions, that particular things needs to be taken care of in such kind of a situations, you know so try to see, what you're eating is a clean eating, and eat only when you're hungry. Sometimes during this time the hunger level also goes down, like in summers, and even during this time our hunger or appetite really goes down. So listen to that aspect to your body, do not eat that time, even if the clock is saying it's a lunch time, do not eat. So when you listen to your body, what it is communicating to you, then you are able to withstand these kind of situations well, right? And obviously your surroundings, you have to keep your surroundings clean, have clean water, and if the water is not clean, then you have to keep that water in the sun. Expose the water in the sun, expose your body to sun. All the infections will die if you are in the sun, if you expose your body to sun. No infection can stay for long, even eye infection, throat infection, any kind of a cuts, or any kind of a uh, discomforts in the body can really go away if you are in the sun. So this is some kind of a five-fold food medicine that we say. Five-fold food medicines are ether, air, sunlight, water, and earth food, right? So these five natural foods, which we called as five-fold food medicines, needs to be incorporated so that we can feel better in these infections and all of that.
Thank you, Tulika. Thank you. But I think it's very helpful, at least for those people who will be watching it, and
Yes,
they might be experiencing such kind of situation.
that's
So
right.
yeah, thank you. So I don't think people have more questions, so we can wrap it for
Yes,
today. Yeah,
yes, yeah.
yeah. So thank you
Thank
once
you.
again.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for joining.